Hey, future educators. Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and figure out exactly how you're going to master Competency 004G. Today, we're zeroing in on an absolutely crucial skill for both your certification exam and, well, your actual future career, evaluating student movement in the classroom. Now, as an instructional coach, I always tell new teachers that stepping into a PE setting, or honestly any movement-based lesson, can feel kind of overwhelming at first. I mean, there's constant motion, endless energy, just a lot happening all at once. But don't worry. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can look at all that chaotic activity, make sense of it, and actually use your observations to truly help your students learn and grow.
So, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the classroom reality, move into decoding Competency 004G, then tackle the language of movement, bring that theory into practice, and finally, look at your future classroom. We are walking step by step from the academic theory right into the practical realities of teaching.
All right, Section 1, the classroom reality, setting the scene. Let's start right in the thick of things with a very real scenario you are absolutely going to face.
Okay, picture this. You're in a busy gymnasium. You can hear the squeak of sneakers on the floor, the steady whir and slap of jump ropes hitting the wood. Your fourth grade students are right in the middle of a lively jump rope sequence. You've got kids moving literally everywhere, right? Some are totally nailing the rhythm, some are hopelessly tangled in their ropes, and others are, really struggling to coordinate their arms and legs. It's energetic, it's loud, and guess what? It's your classroom.
Now here's the million-dollar question. As the teacher, the authority figure in the room, what exactly should you be assessing during all of this? Are you just standing there making sure nobody gets hurt and everyone's having a good time? Well, obviously safety and engagement are vital, for sure. But your observation needs to be highly intentional. You need to know exactly what to look for to help them get better.
Moving to Section 2, decoding Competency 004G, the standard. Let's see how the state standard bridges the gap between just watching kids play and actively facilitating their motor development. So the real meat of it is right here in the descriptor G text. It says a teacher evaluates movement patterns to help students improve performance of motor skills and to integrate and refine their motor and rhythmic skills. Basically, as a beginning teacher, your job isn't just glorified babysitting. You have to actively observe how they're moving, spot the specific strengths and weaknesses of each kid's technique, and step in to help them refine those skills.
And this right here, this is a huge paradigm shift you need to make for your exam and your classroom. Assessment in PE focuses heavily on evaluating movement quality. We're talking about skill development, form, body mechanics. It does not focus simply on measuring athletic performance. We aren't just counting how many jumps they can crank out in 60 seconds or who's the fastest. We care deeply about the how they are moving, not just the final score. On to Section 3, the language of movement, academic vocabulary. To effectively evaluate that movement quality, you've got to be completely comfortable with the lingo.
First up, we have movement pattern. This is the sequence and organization of body movements used to perform a skill. Think back to our jump rope scenario, right? The movement pattern isn't just the word jumping. It's the specific sequential organization of bending the knees, pushing off the toes, and swinging the arms in a synchronized loop to clear that rope. It's the whole coordinated recipe.
Next is motor learning. Simply put, this is the process of acquiring and improving movement skills through practice. Motor learning is that overarching journey your students are on. So when a fourth grader goes from constantly tripping over the rope on Monday to smoothly stringing together 5 jumps on Friday, boom, you are witnessing motor learning in action.
Then we have skill integration and rhythmic movement. This is all about combining multiple skills into a coordinated sequence, often tied to a rhythm or timing pattern. When they're jumping rope, students are using skill integration by combining that vertical jump with their circular arm rotations, and they're using rhythmic movement by timing that whole sequence to the actual beat of the rope slapping the floor.
Finally, let's talk about your main tools, observation assessment and performance feedback. This just means evaluating them by watching closely, and then giving them highly specific information to help improve their execution. You aren't shouting out letter grades in the moment, you're giving them actionable data they can use right then and there.
Section 4, Theory into Practice, the instructional cycle. Knowing all these terms is great for passing a test, but how does this actually work when 25 sweaty kids are staring at you?
Well, you should always help students refine skills through this clear, repeating instructional loop. 1. Observation assessment, you watch them carefully. 2, performance feedback. You tell them what you saw. 3, student practice. You immediately send them back to try it again using your feedback. And 4, self-assessment. You guide them to ask themselves, did that feel right? As a teacher, you have to ask yourself if you're giving them the tools to recognize what correct form actually feels like. This continuous loop is exactly how refinement happens.
So let's bring it back to our fourth graders. When you spot a struggling student, your performance feedback needs to be laser-focused. Instead of just yelling, try harder from the sidelines, you might focus on timing. Hey, make sure you jump right as you hear the rope hit the wood. You address coordination and body position. Keep those elbows tucked in closer to your ribs while you turn. You see, you're giving them the exact blueprint they need so they can use that feedback to crush their very next practice round.
Section 5, your future classroom, exam takeaways. Let's wrap this all up by focusing squarely on what you need for your certification exam and ultimately your future career. So take a mental screenshot of this. Keep these core truths at the front of your mind. Assessment isn't just to fill out a report card. It has to actively improve student learning. Instructional feedback, that is the single most essential tool you have for motor skill development. Remember to evaluate the quality of the movement, the actual mechanics, not just the final score. And finally, remember that refinement is a journey. It takes practice coupled with your targeted feedback to refine these skills over time.
I really want to highlight this single sentence one more time, because it is literally the absolute foundation of Competency 04G. Assessment should improve student learning, period. This is the most important mindset you can possibly bring to your teaching. Every single time you watch a student perform a task, your internal dialogue should be asking, what piece of information can I give them right now that'll help them do this better?
I'm going to leave you with this final, incredibly practical question to chew on as you prepare to step into your own classroom. When you're the one standing in that loud, busy gymnasium observing your students, how will your feedback help them move better today? Think about the sheer power of your words and your observations to empower your students. Keep this cycle in mind, trust the motor learning process, and honestly, you are going to be an incredible educator. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and seriously, best of luck in your future classroom.